Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now, being pregnant is weird. I've already told you this, but so much of my life really revolves around food now, whether I have aversions to it or I suddenly am craving something and I get excited to cook something in the kitchen. Just a lot of my time is spent thinking about food. So today I had a couple of things that I really wanted to cook. We also went out to eat, and some of the things that I wanted to cook were hardcore experiments that turned out well, and some were hardcore experiments that were fails, but I thought I would bring you along. If you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. With that being said, let's hop right in. Now, one of my weird pregnancy cravings I've been noticing has been sourdough French toast. Now, I made this once a few months ago, and that was my first time making French toast in, I honestly don't even know how long, years maybe. And I couldn't even hardly eat it because it just tasted so sweet. I tend to be more of a salty person, especially in the morning. But lately, I have been craving and loving sourdough French toast. So I started off by pouring some unsweetened vanilla almond milk in the bowl. I added 2 eggs and then maybe like a teaspoon or so ish of cinnamon powder. I also added a little bit of vanilla extract, but I really didn't need to do that because the almond milk already had vanilla in it. And then I whisked everything together. And once I did that thorough whisking job, I submerged my bread into the mixture and thoroughly coated each side. Then I added some Kerrygold butter to my pan. Even though my pans are non-stick, apparently having butter in the pan is what helps give it that really like toasty, brown, crunchy effect that I really like in French toast. So I let each side cook for maybe like 2 minutes, 3 minutes before I flipped it. And then I would also add a little bit more butter before I flipped it to the other side to make sure that each side had that brown, crunchy French toast effect that I was going for in my French toast. So Dan bought this maple syrup from Costco, and it's real maple syrup, and it is so good. Now, I started off by drizzling a little, but I ended up actually preferring my maple syrup on the side and like cutting off a piece of the French toast and dipping it, like those little French toast dipper stick things you buy. But this was just so delicious and completely hit the spot. So later in the day, once I had gotten dressed and ready, I thought I would show you my look. This top is by Free People, but my sister actually got it at Marshall's a couple of years ago, and then she gave it to me. I love how flowy and loose it is, and I love the colors. And then today I decided to whip out my sparkly teaks because this was an extremely low nausea day. So I was happy. So I feel like happiness calls for glitter teaks. I don't know. So for lunch that day, it was beautiful out, and Dan and I decided to make our way to Blaze Pizza. I love Blaze Pizza. I think that their ingredients are super high quality, and every time I've gotten a pizza there, it always tastes perfectly cooked and super fresh and hot, and I just love it. And because I'm classy, I brought my very own sparkling Waterloo in the strawberry flavor with me. I'm someone who travels with like 3 drinks at all time: a tea, a water, a sparkling water. I'm extra, okay? And there I am, thoroughly enjoying this pizza because, guys, I'm telling you, if you haven't tried Blaze, like, I don't actually think that all of the little individual pizza joints are made the same. This one is amazing. So we pretty much just hung out and ate some food and chit-chatted and enjoyed the beautiful weather. Apparently it's been like record low heat in Tennessee this year. And I can definitely tell because I've told you guys like 62 times recently how gorgeous it's been. So after lunch, we made our way over to PAI, which is the place where Dan actually had his hair surgery, which that video will finally be going up soon. And I actually get laser hair treatments here as well to help with thickening my front hairline. And I thought I would show you how sweet this was. My friend Krista, who owns the beautiful line Cantha Bay, sent me a video message and it made me so happy. I thought I would just show you. So send your friends video messages because they appreciate it. So I'm going way forward and we're going straight on to more food. I decided on this night that I was craving Mediterranean food and I had the energy to make it. So I found a recipe on Pinterest. I have it pinned under my food board on how to make pita bread. And so I got to cracking, people. And funny because Dan has used our mixer way more than I have, and so it felt really fun to be able to like whip out the mixer. You can't hear him in this, but he's in the background like shouting directions as to how to use this. And so I put everything in, and look at me, guys, I'm such an adult using my mixer. Wow. So once my dough was done, being mixed and rising and doing what it needed to do, I put some flour on a cutting board. I will admit it was maybe an excessive amount of flour, and Dan proceeded to help me scoop the dough out of our little dough mixer thingy-mabobber. Is that the official name? We're not gonna go with that. So once he had detached the hook, I took the dough and I scooped it out onto the floured cutting board. Now this dough was supposed to be sticky, and I knew it was going to be sticky, and that's also kind of why I went a little overboard with the flour, because I was really scared. I'm someone that gets really scared of sticky dough. I don't know what I think is going to happen, but it freaks me out. Like I said, one could argue that I maybe used a little bit too much flour, but once I shaped it into a ball, I set it aside, and then I started working on my hummus. So I opened up my can of chickpeas, and I actually saved some of the brine that came in the can, so like the juice that it was soaking in. Spoiler alert, that actually made all of the difference in this hummus. So I poured in garbanzo beans or chickpeas, same thing, and then I put in some tahini. This recipe-ish that I used is also pinned somewhere on my Pinterest food board. I'm frequently cooking some variation of something I've pinned on Pinterest. And you guys know I've made hummus before and I kind of considered it a fail. And tonight it was delicious. I'm really convinced that pouring in some of the brine or, the water that was in the can with the chickpeas made a big difference, as well as the amount of time that I blended the hummus. I let it blend for like maybe a full minute. And I think that those two factors, the brine and the blending time, are what made the hummus so delicious. As well as, you'll see in a minute, I end up putting some extra toppings on the hummus. It was just so good. So after my pita had sat for a little bit, I took my dough and I separated it into 8 little balls to make 8 little pita pocket bread thingamabobbers. Apparently thingamabobber is my word this video. Then once I had made my little balls, I covered them in saran wrap to allow them to quote unquote rise. They did not end up rising, but it's fine. And with my hummus, I added some paprika, some fresh parsley, as well as a little bit more fresh olive oil over the top. I think I might have added a little chunky sea salt too. But guys, Dan and I were obsessed with this. This hummus was unbelievably delicious. So at this point, I decided to make the falafel, which the falafel ends up being my biggest fail of the night. So I threw a little bit of sourdough into a blender because the recipe said you needed some kind of breadcrumbs. The recipe actually called for pita, but I didn't have pita made at this point and I wanted to get a start on the falafel. So I kind of ground up the sourdough bread and then I poured in another can of garbanzo beans. Then I added in some chopped white onion as well as some parsley. Once again, this is a rendition of a recipe that I have pinned on my food board, like most everything else I do. And then I added some cumin and some salt and pepper, and I just kind of ground everything together. I had to pause in between to make sure I worked everything down to the center so it wasn't just being blended on the outside. By the way, guys, if my voice sounds funny, I mentioned this in, this is kind of gross, maybe forward 10 seconds, but I mentioned this in my first trimester recap, but I'm like so stuffed and phlegmy. And so even talking is a little bit difficult. So I have to say, this garbanzo bean mixture and these ratios and everything, it smelled amazing. And at this point, I was actually really hopeful because I've never tried frying my falafel. I never like really fry food. I'm new to that. And the mixture felt so good. I actually tasted a little bit of it. It tasted amazing. It smelled amazing. And I was feeling pretty hyped. I was like, you know what? I think I may be making the best falafel in the world. I got a little too big-headed, guys, because that is not what is about to happen. So I'm gonna need all of the tips I can get because this is my second or third time trying to make falafel and it's just been a complete fail each time. So I did pause the falafel to make some, I think you call it tzatziki sauce. This stuff is bomb. So I started off by cutting a cucumber in half and then cutting all of the skin around the outside off. And then I took my cucumber and I diced it into tiny little pieces. Not tiny. If Dan had been cutting, these pieces would have been real tiny, but I'm not that patient. So I cut it as small as I was willing to like sit there and chop and make things small, which was still pretty small, but yeah. Then I took a couple of scoops of my Greek yogurt and I added that to the bowl that I was going to make this whole sauce dip in. Then I took my dill that I had just picked from my tower garden and I chopped that up into tiny little pieces as well. So then I cut open a clove or two of garlic. I added some olive oil to the Greek yogurt, as well as some fresh lime and lemon juice. Then I threw my cucumber into the bowl, as well as my fresh garlic. I think I added a little bit of garlic powder too, which is maybe a little weird. I don't know why I did that. But then I also added some pink Himalayan sea salt and some black pepper. Then I mixed all of this yummy goodness together. Oh my gosh, this tzatziki sauce is so good. So I let that sit, and then I made my way over to fry my falafel. Now I had some avocado oil in the pan. I'm really confused. I'm like, did I just not have enough oil, or the ingredients wrong? Did I touch it too soon? I don't know, but all of this falafel proceeded to like basically completely break down and melt into a sauce in the pan. You'll see that in a minute. I think I show you. But in the meantime, while that was cooking, because it said it was going to take a while, like per side, I rolled out my pita bread dough that had been sitting to rise. So it didn't really rise at all to me, I didn't think. So I was kind of concerned. But another spoiler alert, this pita bread ended up being pretty dang delicious. Like, I think I nailed it. Dan loved it. And so apparently, even though it didn't rise, it wasn't really a problem. And I don't think I got this on camera, but one of the things they say is that you've nailed your pita bread if your pita bread develops bubbles while it is cooking on the pan. And almost all of mine did. So that was really cool. So as you can see at this point, I was trying to move my falafel, and it looked like maybe it was kind of moving. Simultaneously, I was trying to flip the pita. This was my first one, so I was like very confused as to how this process was going to go. And I continued to just like baby the bread, check out the falafel, and basically just watch my falafel slowly be ruined. But yeah, so I'm really curious if any of you have falafel tips. Obvious, but please leave them down below. I'm happy that at least my hummus and my tzatziki and my pita was absolutely delicious. And I proceeded to cook all of them because I felt like I could just save them in the fridge or on the counter in a bag and eat it later. So I cooked up all of the pita bread, and then we dove into our dips. So basically our dinner ended up being pita and dip, but I was fine with that. Dip is like my favorite thing in life. So that is it for today's video. If you liked it, like I said, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're hearing my voice, do not forget to check my info box, because every video I do a giveaway for those of you that care enough to extend the info box or wait till the end. And it's my way to say thank you to you guys for all of your support. So prizes, yes, they're all bomb prizes too. So I will hopefully see you back here soon with another new video, and that is all. Bye guys.